Russia's unprovoked and unjustified invasion of Ukraine is at the forefront of all of our minds. The world is witnessing the strength and resolve of the people of Ukraine. The president has successfully brought together our friends and allies to coordinate a unified and powerful response to Putin's actions. That being said, I had hoped to hear the president address the investment that's needed in our military and ways to strengthen our national defense. With the nefarious actions of Russia and Putin and the rising threat of China, it's critical that the U.S. remain the world's top military. And that's not going to happen if we don't continue to invest in our military. And speaking of China, yes, Russia is the problem of today, but we can't forget that China is operating in the background and remains the problem of tomorrow. The president only mentioned China twice in his speech tonight. We can't fail to acknowledge that China is on a quest to become the world's economic, military, and geopolitical superpower. Nearly every strategic decision we make must be looked at with the lens of our competition with China. Tonight, the president acknowledged that inflation is crippling hardworking families. He's right about that. Adding all of this new government spending, however, will only make the problem of inflation worse. It was caused in large part by the totally unnecessary COVID relief package the Democrats passed a year ago. We have to get our spending under control, and we cannot spend more than we take in. Reining in our national debt and our deficit is one of the most important things we can do as a Congress. And it starts with looking at our entitlement spending and shoring up our federal trust funds to ensure that programs like Social Security and Medicare exist for future generations. My Democrat friends keep talking about the Green New Deal and alternative energy sources, and I'm a proponent of green energy. But one of the things this past week reminded us of is that we can't be reliant on countries like Russia for our energy. We must continue to take advantage of our own energy resources for our own well-being and also for our friends and allies around the world. President Biden pledged to unify the country when he came into office, and he repeated that pledge again tonight. Getting bipartisan legislation signed into law is fundamental to that pledge. The bipartisan infrastructure bill is evidence of the good that can come for our country when Republicans and Democrats work together. We delivered historic investments in our country's physical infrastructure without adding to our national debt. We've got to continue to work together on a bipartisan basis to tackle the real problems that the country's facing. I was pleased to hear President Biden outline possible areas for bipartisan cooperation, and I hope we can come together to tackle inflation. And family policies like child tax credit need to be addressed, and we need to shore up America's energy resources.